right, Kay. I've been dying to talk to you all day about this. Talk to me. How are we feeling about Wolverine's yellow costume coming to Deadpool 3?
I mean, come on. Okay, so this is not fair, okay? This is not fair because just because you have removed the copious amounts of evidence from your background does not mean that you can get away with being the comic book stan that I know you to be far more than I am. Okay? Mm-hmm. Like, I will tell you my thoughts on this thing, but first and foremost, I need yours, sir.
All right.
Because I have a feeling you might feel a little more deeply about this one than I do, sir. But
okay,
baby,
overall,
who knows? Let's see what you got.
All right. So overall, I dig it. Okay, it looks it looks, it's what everybody's been asking for. It's a classic yellow suit from the Jim Lee X-Men era. Tay literally just took the words out of my mouth. He's saying that it pays homage to the past. That's exactly how I feel in the chat. I feel that way. I just wish, and I don't know why they don't do this. Deadpool is wearing his mask. Why isn't Wolverine wearing his cowl? That's the only thing that's missing from this for it to be like a home run. How about you?
So are you saying this is another one of those situations where they gave you something, but they didn't give you enough of the something? So now it's like, come on, man. Where's the cowl?
They Master Chiefed it up here, okay? Now Hugh Jackman refuses to wear the cowl. What's going on here?
They even gave you the crazy... look at the flops. It's like it's almost Farrah Fawcett like in its execution. They even gave you that,
dude. It's good, right? Like, okay. So the difference is obviously you can see that it's not sleeveless. Okay, so that's a thing. But I mean, it's pretty comic accurate, man. It looks like a tactical suit.
The first thing I thought when I saw it wasn't sleeveless was, I guess this was the deal that they struck with Hugh to come back. He ain't working out no more. F that. He just ain't doing it. Screw that, man. Even though he probably looks good normally anyway, but that Wolverine level of workout, he's like, no, player, I am 40-something. I'm done.
he doesn't want to, number one, take the juice, and number two, he doesn't want to eat like 18 times per day. You know what I'm saying?
He doesn't want to eat although the eggs help him bulk, it also the farts, man. It doesn't help. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm sure his wife is not a fan. Well,
his wife is not a fan. Well, okay, so let me tell you what I think.
Sure.
Let me tell you what I think.
Go ahead.
What I think of this. Okay, I need to tell you what I think. I was one of the hugest Wolverine fans, X-Men fans as a kid growing up. Okay. I'm talking like. Exactly. You know what I'm talking about. The 90s comics got you into it. If you were a child of the 80s of that sort, you know what I'm talking about. Them comics,
right?
The cartoon got you into it. A shout out to the cartoon, which supposedly is coming back soon. So I'm looking forward to seeing what's up with that, right? So I was a huge, like, monstrous fan, right? And then, of course, we went through what we went through with Hugh Jackman and all of that. And yes, he's not comics accurate. Yes, he's not short. Yes, he was a little too PG-13 for his own good for too long. All that. So eventually we got Logan, and I love Logan with all my heart. Right?
Logan was awesome.
We even got the one where he was in Japan. I even liked that one. That was really good.
The director's cut is way better than the theatrical
with Silver Samurai. Oh my god! I was like, "Yup, that's it." They finally cracked the nut. I appreciated that, right? So I think this is a little too late. I think after Old Man Logan, shout out to Old Man Logan. But no, this is a good look, right? If there was anybody to get them out of his shell and come back, it'd be Deadpool. This should be fun. I'm excited to see that they're at least attempting this comics accuracy stuff.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good mix between Deadpool's wackiness and Wolverine's grittiness and seriousness. So I think that's gonna be a good clash of styles, kind of like what we have here on the Gamers Playground. And with that said, I want to welcome everyone to episode 4 of the Gamers Playground, where we talk PC gaming, PCMR. We try to, I guess you can say, knock down those stigmas and those walls that are associated with PC gaming. This week I'll be hosting. I'm on hosting duties. John Wolf, as always, with my good friend and co-host Kay Asante, who I am so jealous of because you got a big trip coming up and you're going to be away from work. You're going to be with family. I'm so jealous right now, dude. You want to let everybody know the schedule coming up for our couple of shows in the next week and how you're doing?
Yeah, thank you so much for the fine folks already in the chat. Thank you guys for being here. We already see a bunch of folks already filing in. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you guys. We appreciate you. We know not everybody's out here for that PCMR talk. So you're here, you're chatting with us, and we appreciate you for being here. I will be on vacation. I'm actually going on vacation tomorrow. I'm leaving in the afternoon, so I will not be on the on Boom's channel. Usually on Wednesday nights we get nice and slanderous on his channel, but unfortunately I will not be able to attend this time because I won't be at my podcasting studio. So I'll be for about a week. I think it is. I'll be back next week Monday, so we might not even have this show next week. This might not happen next week, unfortunately, but I promise you, when I do come back, there will be a lot of talk of games because I will be taking I'm packing the stuff with me, right? I have and that's one thing I didn't even tell you, bro. I did not even tell you this. So, that I'm a guy who loves my gadgets. I hang out with the cool gadgetries and whatnot. And I have myself an Nreal Air. You know the Nreal Air. You've seen that thing. You're able to project. OLED, big cool OLED screens on your periphery, right? In your frontal vision. So I have been lucky enough to be a member of a subscription service. Well, not subscription service, but a membership service called Vine. Amazon puts it on. So they allow you to. You have to be a reviewer, whatever. They seek you out and they say, hey, if you're a good reviewer, maybe you'll join this club. Long story short, they've sent me the Nreal Air's direct competitor.
Oh, really?
Yes. It is called. I'm holding the box in my hand. It is called the Rockid Max, and it literally is the competitor to the Nreal Air. Cool techie stuff with the glasses. Unfortunately, one thing I really like about the Nreal Air that this one looks like it's lacking a bit. The Nreal Air, unless you look closely at me, you think I'm wearing sunglasses indoors. You're just thinking like that's a little bit of a weirdo, and that you move on. This one, you'll be like, oh yeah, he's definitely got like cyberpunk in his face. Like you see it.
Channel your like inner celebrity.
Yeah, it looks like a techie thing on your face. You see it, and it's even like a little small, But yeah, I will report back after the vacation. I'll be using this thing, putting it through its paces, seeing if it's cool. Yeah, you guys will probably get a review from me when I come back doing this stuff. So yes, Nice. Should be fun. Looking forward to it. Bringing the techie things with me for a week of vacationing. So there you go.
And compared to the Nreal, does it do? I'm guessing 1080p 60 or what are we looking at here?
1080p 60. 1080p 60. They say it's 110 inch field of view, depend an arm's length, but about 110 inches across. So if you're in the movie, it's perfect for a flight. Let's just say I put that on. I got the noise canceling headphones on, and flight takes off, and no one knows. I don't know that I'm on a flight because you don't hear anything, you don't see nothing, you just see a movie or whatever you're watching.
And that's the dream. That's the dream.
That is the dream. Exactly.
Take your gaming experience with you on the go, and you feel kind of like if you're at home a little bit,
Yep. So you either plug in your phone, or for me, it'll be the Steam Deck. Plug it in. Good to go for the next couple of hours. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I want to say hello to a couple of people that I see on the chat that we have a great community growing here on the Gamers Playground. K, as you know, we always got Punty in here, Nix, salute Gerald Mack. We do want to see that Graybeards podcast come sooner or later, right, Joe
Oh,
Mac?
for sure.
So,
bro, the name alone demands it. Come on. Y'all need to do it for sure.
There's too many gray beards on the community like myself. The wife occasionally tells me, hey, I need you to touch up that Just for Men for me. So I haven't done it in a little while, but soon you'll be seeing me with that Just for Men touch up. But we got Nixie in here, Tate Talks, who he put out a great podcast with a colleague of his not too long ago talking about Starfield. I listened to the whole thing. It was a fantastic show that he put on.
So do great work. They do great work. Absolutely.
Of course, Mr. Joanna Dark already with the slander, calling me the missionary mascot lover. Come on, man. Like, come on. You know that this is a missionary free zone, okay? And
it's just that Mr. Joanna Dark, he's here. He's being slanderous because he's now part of the elite team. He's
right.
AKO Zoe Club. Stand up, sir. Stand up.
That's right.
There are only a few. That the ally plebes are all over the place, but there are only a few.
Well,
I'm just messing with you. Calm down.
So shout out to the community, guys. I have a huge favor to ask. Me and Kay have a huge favor to ask. Obviously we've been waiting all weekend and what seems like a week already for Judge Corley's decision. We're doing this show live, so if that decision does drop, obviously we'll pivot because that's big news. We got to cover that, so we're counting on you guys that if that news does hit, let us know, because we're obviously doing a show and we're not going to know, so we would really appreciate that. And yeah, we got a lot to talk about today, Kay. We got some good topics on deck here, including a new segment which we're going to transition to right now that we're going to call Backlog Brothers. Me and you are the Backlog Brothers, okay? And what this segment's going to be dedicated to in the future is that me and you, we talked in the background and we decided that with all of these, with all of the emulation that we've been talking about covering and doing our collections, our massive pause game collections that they're and our and our backlog,
right into that one, my friend.
And our backlog that just is never ending. What we want to do is we're going to come on every week and we're going to suggest a title to each other. 1 week will be Kay, 1 week will be me. We'll it could be a title from any generation. It's just a game that we pick out and we say, and like for example, Kay chose for me to try out True Crime New York City. I've never played that game. I remember playing on the OG Xbox True Crime. I think it was LA or Streets of LA or something like that. But I never tried the prequel, which is True Crime New York City, and I played that for a few hours, right? So what
I will say, this is better than the other one, but yes, let's get into it.
What we want to do is every week we'll recommend the title to each other, right, Kay? You recommended this to me, and at the end of our discussion, we'll say if we're gonna play through completion or if we're dropping the title because we just are not digging it. Okay,
that's right.
So let's talk about True Crime New York City. You recommended this to me after we had a conversation.
Yes, I did.
And I want to say first, I played it through emulation on my PC on the big rig. I didn't even play this on the Ally.
It's hard to emulate. It's hard to emulate on the handheld. It will do it.
I haven't tried.
It will do it, but you'll have to really push it for it to do it. You're talking like 20 TDP territory. It kills battery. Don't even bother.
Yeah, and the thing is, I didn't even try because honestly, I since this is kind of like something new that we tried, I didn't really have time to prepare. But going forward, I'll try it on multiple devices and stuff like that.
Yeah, no worries, brother. No worries at all. I just wanted you to experience it and see what you thought of it. I thought this game, like we live in 2023. We live in a world where gaming is real big, where gaming is now a medium for delivery of storytelling, right? Like it used to just be about games, just you Pac-Man style, all you are is just moment to moment fun. This was one of the rare instances where it was like, yo, they saw like I don't know, pick your great New York City based mobster movie, right? And they were like, we can do that in a game, and they'd never done it before. And I think this was knocked out of the park, like excellent, to the point where the next one was like, oh, we're so good at it, we're gonna do it again, and they went Hollywood, and I didn't like it. This was
Snoop Dogg in that game? I don't remember.
I think Snoop was at some point. I think it might have been Snoop, but some celebrity like rapper is in that game. True.
Yeah.
This has got like Lawrence Fishburne in it. This has got like heavy hitting talent. There's just so much talent in this game, and of course, as you can see, the textures are horrible.
Yeah, but I mean, okay. So the one thing about this segment that me and you talked about, and the audience needs to remember, is that we're very spoiled now, and you know, just the fidelity of graphics on games nowadays, especially with the PCs that we're pushing. You know, you have a 4090, I have a 4070. We're pushing some heavy pixels here, but we need to remember that when we're gonna talk and play these games, we need to put on those sunglasses and pretend to go back, okay, in time to experience it to the best that we can, to kind of, you know, and these emulators, they help with that, because I was playing at 1440p 60, very smooth. Obviously, you have, you know, gameplay mechanics that are a little outdated, but it's okay. Like you like understanding the limitations on that, you can appreciate. And us that we're on here, obviously we do appreciate that, and I'm sure that people listening can go back and they can appreciate this. But this is what I'll say,
bro. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Finish your thought.
No. All I was gonna say was, like, honestly, I think that this game does certain things that even current games that try to be cinematic don't achieve as well as they did. Like there are certain elements in this game, certain storytelling elements, certain ways that they deliver story, certain ways that they fill out their world, that even today, Unreal Engine 5 world, where everyone's able to like make a monster world that we see all these great things coming out, I haven't seen them do some of the things this game does.
Yeah, the world feels very gritty, very, you know, I've been to New York before. I visited New York a couple of times. I think it's a pretty good representation from what I saw, you know, from the times I've been. Obviously, people that live in New York, you'll know better than me. But I feel, you know, I felt like they understood that they got a lot of people that you know, that you could tell contributed to the game to kind of keep it authentic, I guess you can kind of say. And what I'll say, look, let's pivot and let's talk about the game, and then kind of like my thoughts around it, right? Sure. So I put in a good 2 hours last night. I wanted to, since we had such short time, I wanted to really at least give a few hours to give some initial thoughts, which that's what this is, initial thoughts. Right off the bat, the presentation and the voice acting is top notch, even for a PS2 era game to have that type of, you know, quality. It reminded me of the same kind of quality that you would have in a Max Payne game, where some things are cheesy, but you know, the dialogue you can follow and it's easy to digest, that it's not completely over the top that you're like, oh man, I can't do this. It kept you engaged. Right in the beginning, you're this character here that, you know, you're just running shop on on these gangsters or whatever, right? So at first you're kind of like the Punisher, okay, and you're like just mopping everybody. And this is a detective that he's kind of like a father figure, and he takes you into the force. And that's kind of like where I left off, where he graduates from the police academy, and you become, you're working on your way to become a detective. Okay, that's pretty much where I got up to. And then the game mechanics, you can make once you're patrolling the streets, you can make arrest, which I don't know if you want to fast forward a little bit there on the video if you can, but you can make arrest in the city to apprehend criminals. You know, it has like a good I want to say representation on what it would feel like to be in the law enforcement unit, because, you know, they're very strict on, hey, don't use lethal force, you know, if unless someone is carrying a weapon, stuff like that. So I thought, honestly, for a PS2 era game, I'm going to stick to it. I'm going to play it through completion. I did notice from a technicality standpoint that there was like, I don't know what this was. I don't know if it was the emulator, my PC, or what it was, but there was kind of like a filter that was kind of loading the textures as I drove. And I don't know if that was something with the emulator or what, but like, for example, you see here how there's no there's like an invisible line.
There's almost like
a
wall, a shield in
yes.
front of the whole vision. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Now I don't know what that is.
Let me guess. You used our PCS3, right? Or our PCS2 or whatever the heck it was.
Correct.
Yeah. There's a bug specifically with that emulator on this game. There is a patch for that, but this game specifically has that, where it's almost like there's a screen door that's like whenever a bloom effect lasts a little too long, or it smears on the screen for a while, causing a screen door effect. Here's the thing you were talking about frisking people. They have all these weird mechanics, right? So you're a cop. It's almost like they sat down and they went, all right, so we're going to be a cop. If you're going to be a cop, and of course, this is a GTA world that exists, right? Everybody wanted to make GTA at that time.
That's very important. That's very important to point out, because GTA was at its peak. You know, when
this was everybody trying to take that GTA crown. Yes.
Right.
You know,
exactly.
But it was like, so if you're a cop, you wouldn't just GTA it up, right? You'd be good cop versus bad cop. You'd be a good cop. You'd frisk somebody. You'd then, I found this. You could either take the money you find to the precinct, or you keep it for yourself. Good cop, bad cop. And you'd have like a good versus bad system in the game. There's a lot of things about this game that was ahead of its time. Even technologically, they were doing some things with screen space reflections on a PS2 that at the time was just really unusual. Like, it had a level of quality. It obviously didn't. It shot above its skis many times. Like, it was running sometimes at like 20 frames per second. It is what it is. Let's be honest. But it was very cool, right? I'm hoping that while people are rekindling their flames for these old nostalgic things, games like these can get their shot once more, right? Obviously, you wouldn't remake this exactly as it was, because this is now a dime a dozen. Like, a lot of people have done it. A lot of things. This has happened many times, right? But I have a feeling that this guy should be respected as one of the arbiters that brought about the cinematic kind of GTA style game we see today. Because if you compare this to GTA 5, yes, it's primitive, but there's a lot of likeness there.
Right. I can kind of agree with that. And the thing is too, that, when you look back at the generation that this came out, which was that PS2, Xbox, GameCube generation, you had a lot of developers and publishers taking risk and really just trying to come up with the next great thing, right? And they really pushed the envelope, and they weren't scared to tackle subjects or narratives or things like that we have now in a PC world, right? Because we're living in not a PC gaming politically correct world. So just the subject matter, the materials, I think that some companies now will be kind of afraid to tackle some of these things, which is a shame. But the thing is that it's very authentic, and that's something that you can appreciate about the art, right? You had people that were passionate about making a competitor to GTA. And they really went all, Activision went gung ho here, and they really gave it a shot. So shout out to them. Usually, Activision's kind of known for hit or miss. Depends on who you talk to. But in this particular case, I think that this is a franchise that to this day can have some legs. How about you? Do you agree with that?
Oh, bro, I absolutely agree. Like a more hard-edged, gritty, with a more kind of with an eye for storytelling in this kind of a way. Oh yeah, I still think there's definitely a market for it. Actually, shout out to the folks in the chat. I see Kirby Zero Louise and Miss Joanna Dark having a conversation. The best thing about these old games that we rekindle and rethink about, they happen to be on multiple platforms. So if you're emulating it, you can tend to emulate it on multiple different platforms, right? If you happen to have it on GameCube or something else. Miss Joanna Dark says it's on GameCube. On GameCube, I don't think it has necessarily the same issues that it has currently on PS2. So you might want to look into that. That might be a better thing, right? Yeah,
I'll give it a shot. I mean, it's like I said, I do want to play it through completion to get it off the backlog. And thank you for recommending the title. So for our
awesome, right? It's really cool.
Yeah, for our first game that we're featuring on the Backlog Brothers segment, this is a good one, man. And I have my recommendation for you, right, is going to be I actually got two titles for you, since you're going to be
I'm going on vacation,
flying.
so I'll put it on the old deck. Let's go. What you got for me?
So I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give you something recent and something not so recent, but something that when it came out at the time, it was heavily criticized, and it was definitely the worst of its bunch. Okay, but
Oh
I
no,
still,
he's gonna give me a Sonic game. Oh no,
no. But I promise that I
Uh-huh.
think that if you were to revisit the title, open mind, appreciate
Okay.
the game a little bit more.
Okay.
Maybe you'll change your tune. Okay, maybe you'll change your tune because like I said, the reviewers
All
were kind
right.
of hard on this title. Okay,
I think I
so
know what you're about to say, but go ahead. Let's go.
okay, so for the recent title, I recommend to
Uh-huh.
you is one that I tried out last weekend,
Uh-huh.
and I was just trying things out on the Asus ROG Ally, and
Mhm.
I quickly just started playing this game, and next thing I know, 2 or 3 hours had passed. Okay, and that's
Mhm.
Raiden 5. Okay, are you familiar with
Raiden
twin
5.
stick shooters? How much
I
do
I
you like
love
twin
me some
stick
twin stick
shooters?
shooters. Yeah, I'm a big twin stick
Okay,
shooter guy. Raiden 5.
Raiden 5
Sounds
director's
familiar.
cut, and you have a lot of choices. You can emulate through Yuzu. You can you can do
Is it on
I think
Steam
that it's
like
available.
proper?
It's on Steam proper.
Oh, yeah. There
It's
we go.
if
I'll
you
buy it on Steam proper. Let's go.
if you dig, you can find for sure. And then
Okay.
the other title that I want you to try,
Mhm.
this is a funny one. Okay,
Mhm.
it's a game that when it first came out, I was a fan of, but a lot of people were not. Okay, and
Okay.
and I like those types of games, man. There's just something about them that they have charm. Okay, Wii U Devil's Third. Have you heard of this game before?
Devil's Third. The name sounds very familiar, but I don't think I played it. Devil's Third.
Okay,
Okay.
so let me give you the premise. Okay,
Yeah, give me
it
the
was
synopsis here.
it was from the creator of Ninja Gaiden. I think what was his name again? I forgot his name. It's kind of the dude that he thought he was a rock star, always wearing the shades.
The
The
glasses, yes,
creator.
I know who you're talking
Yeah,
about. Okay.
with the
Okay.
leather
Yeah.
jacket.
Yep. Yep.
Okay, so that Devil's Third was a creation of his after I guess there was a change of the guard in the Koei Tecmo guard that
Mhm.
he wasn't doing Ninja Gaiden anymore, right? So he started his own thing, and this is the game that he kind of launched on his own, which was the next thing after
Wow.
Ninja Gaiden.
The
Okay,
the Metacritic score 43 G
yeah,
bus.
yeah,
Sir.
but again, just
Uh-huh.
I would like you to revisit the title, appreciate it for its, I guess you could call it
Okay.
charm, okay, and just
He
just
said, I guess
it,
you could call it charm.
I guess you could call it that, okay. Just give it a
Sure.
try,
Okay.
see what you think. I like the
Okay.
game.
Okay.
I recommend. I'm gonna play it through as well because I haven't finished it.
Cool.
So
Cool.
we'll
All
touch
right.
base, and if you can't handle it, that's fine. Just drop it. Just say, John, I
If you
gave it a
can't
few
handle
hours.
it.
Yeah, I gave it a few hours, man, but I got to drop it. Okay. And again, these games, we're going to go through a plethora of generations,
Mhm.
guys. Obviously we're going to have our different likes and dislikes.
Yep.
I'm not a big, I'll tell you what, I'm not a big JRPG guy, but I'm
Okay.
open to try some. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And
Cool.
we
Yeah.
all have our likes, and the idea here is that we try these games, and then we come back and we talk about them and try to revisit and see, do we recommend them, or are they a hard pass? Don't even bother. Like, this should just stay buried, like ET.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Like ET.
all right.
let me pop out the super chat that we have a supporter here. Oh man, this is great. Thank you so much for being here. BT Maverick 707 with
Thank
a
you.
$5 super chat with a great question as well. Hey, do you guys recommend the cryo utilities for the Steam Deck, or should I wait for the next big Steam OS update that's supposed to be coming? Love the show. Thank you guys. Thank you so
Thank you.
much. I appreciate it. That is a great question. I appreciate your support, Maverick. I definitely recommend the cryo utilities. Like, even though you are waiting for the next big update, yes, wait for the next big update. That will also be good. But the one thing that I've come to realize with that developer is he's always very mindful of not breaking anything that Steam is doing, because he's in the beta. There's an alpha and a beta. He's in the alpha ring, from what I've seen a few videos of his. So more often than not, when new Steam OS updates come out, they don't break, or he doesn't break them. right? And besides, most of the configurations that are in the cryo utilities are just standard cleanup maintenance utilities that he's pushing to make sure that you get the most of your hardware. So even if there was a big update, I really doubt that it would interfere with that. So yes, 100%, wholeheartedly recommend get the cryo utilities. And by the way, if you have a chance to, like, click through the website, click through the help, find his website. He has a great YouTube channel, believe it or not. I've actually spent a lot of time watching his stuff, making sure I understood what he was modifying and updates that they were making to make sure that it doesn't break anything. So that's why I'm confident that he's good. So yeah, go ahead and check him out. He does great work. But yeah, thank you so much for your support and the question.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I never tried cryo utilities I don't have the Steam Deck anymore, but if I did, I would have probably installed it for sure. Because I heard a lot of great things.
Yeah, it's a Linux thing, cleaning up maintenance, background processes, making sure that everything's optimized and ready for the game that you're giving it. So it's really good. And some of them go very far in giving you like a lot of upward mobility and frame rates. So it's good.
Right. Awesome. Hey, what up, Big Cloud? How are you? Nice to see you.
Salute to the man, Big Cloud. What's going on, man?
Yeah, for sure. And so okay, the big topic of the week this week, obviously, we're gonna cover something that to me really like got me to kind of look at PC gaming in a different way. Okay, and that's modding. All right.
Okay.
I've always heard, from all my days of gaming, that the PC modding community was huge, that it really enhances your experience, that these people are doing better things than developers out there. And I never really looked at it because I'm always like, oh, that stuff is probably hard to do, and probably you're breaking the game and it's cheap and like it's cheating and all this stuff that, all the stigmas that come with this stuff, right?
Yep.
But I want to talk about a couple of mods that I've seen recently, okay? Because I've completely fallen in love with a bunch of mods that I've seen, and I want to be trying some of this stuff out coming up. Let's talk about Master Chief in Resident Evil 4 Remake, sir. Did you see this video floating around?
I have. I saw this video floating around. You shared this video with me. I'm for those watching, I'm sharing on the screen now. And just the quality of the green and the metal and the time spent really honing it. I'm just like, kudos to you, whoever did this. This is absolutely fantastic.
This is incredible. And the thing is that like me, I'm kind of like, I guess you can say kind of weird in a way where I don't like my experience to kind of be, I don't know, shifted in any way. Like the first time that I'll play RE4 Remake, I want to play how the game is intended to be played. But once I'm done, this is something that I wouldn't mind doing at all. Okay,
sure, absolutely.
I think it adds life to the game. A game that you've already completed, etc. But kudos again to just the quality of work that these modders are putting out there. And if I knew nothing else and I didn't know what RE4 Remake was, and you show this to someone and you say, hey, this is a brand new Halo game coming out, you can trick them. That's how good this looks.
Because it's all third-person Halo game. You're like, what? Why is Master Chief shooting humans? This is crazy.
Yeah, what's going on here? But it's so cool, dude. And also show off a little bit of that AEW gameplay, the link that I sent you there. This is something else. Remember a few weeks ago, we talked about AEW Fight Forever that was about to be released, right? Okay, you see those 4 wrestlers right there? That's the Bloodline. Okay, their names are the Bloodline for anyone not familiar with WWE. Those guys are not supposed to be in this game.
They're not, and they've been modded into the game. Yeah.
Yes, that's Roman Reigns, which is arguably the biggest wrestling star now. He's in WWE. He's not in AEW, so he's not even supposed to be there with the Bloodline, like I said. And it's just things like this, man, that I take a look at. And you just can't do this stuff on consoles, man. Not a lot of this, okay, if any. And it just adds this new layer of just that it factor when it comes to
crazy
the PC,
creativity, right? Like just odd creativity. Yes,
it's amazing, and they're stretching the value and just the experience for the users. And Kay, talk a little bit about your experience with mods and some of the cool stuff you've seen out there.
So I hear you on the mods, right? and I think it's really awesome that it's what differentiates people, the gaming platforms, right? Uh, uh, Beyond, I've always appreciated the fact that if there's an issue with a game, right, that a game gets released, I've always been on the. I always love sitting on the edge where the people do funny things. So I'll have like a 21-inch, 21 by 9-inch display or something like that. But not every game supports 21 by 9, right? So then you get the ugly bars on the left and right, and then the modding community will come, and either there will be a utility that's built that can be modified into it, or you can find a way of modifying certain DLLs or something, right? There are always ideas out there, and then before long, the issue that was the issue of the day gets resolved by the community, to the point where I mean, we give Bethesda smoke from time to time, because by and large they've almost depended on the modding community to fix a lot of their stuff, right? Skyrim,
okay,
being
Starfield,
huge
Starfield coming up.
well, hey, we don't know about that one, but Skyrim being a huge one, right? They have mods on Skyrim that literally change the name of that game, that make that game playable to this day. You know,
right.
Make the game look like it was made yesterday, right? All because of the modding community and modding capabilities out there. So yeah, I'm a huge fan of mods. I wish there were more mods on the console side of the house, but as you can understand, right, it would be a little bit more difficult because inherently mods are breaking the fundamental code of the game and modifying their capabilities, and you wouldn't be able to do that in a very closed ecosystem, which the PC world offers. So yeah, you know, I do understand, but it's really cool. Mm-hmm.
It's so cool, and the thing is too, right? Not only can you add a certain new taste and flavor to a game, but let's go to the next video now with that RTX in Need for Speed Underground 2, how it completely reinvents the game. Like you would think that it's a modern game that's been released in today's market, right? And the thing is that again, if you're a fan of Need for Speed Underground, and you want to relive the game in I guess you can say 2023 standards, mods like this can make it digestible, you know, to the modern audience. And I mean, take a look at this right here. This right here, look at the ray tracing, you know, that they added to the game. Dude, I mean, Watch Dogs Legions ain't got nothing on this, if you ask me. You know, this just looks amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. And now I know people see this and they go, yeah, this is all well and good, but how do you accomplish this? This must be too damn difficult for me to do. By and large, if you, and maybe this will also help us transition into some tips for modding. If you see something cool like this and you want to do it, more often than not, you found it on a YouTube page. The first thing I would ask you to do is read the description. Like 9 times out of 10, they put the type of hardware they put in there. You know, as you start hearing the hardware names come back at you multiple times, you'll start understanding what they're talking about. Hey, this hardware they have might be close to mine. I might be able to make it work. Or, hey, they're talking about a 4090. I can't afford that. That's just way too big. You'll know all that by reading the description. They'll even send you links more often than not to where you can go get them, right? The links also have instructions as to where you can install them. They tend to be a folder or something. Place this folder in this directory, put it there. Bob's your uncle, as they say, right? Some of them go even far more intricate. There's an installer. You download it, you install it. It does the modification for you. There's so many ways about it, but you don't have to know anything about it going in, right? So this mod that we're looking at here is so cool, does all these really interesting things. I don't have to know anything about how any of this stuff works. I don't have to be a tech guy in order to make any of this work. You can say, ooh, it's shiny, I want to do that. Go to the website, read the description. Actually, as we speak here, let me go down here, make sure I have this. You go down here, you go to the description, they show you their Discord server. More often than not, these guys, they like to test these mods. So you go to the Discord server full of modifications, full of, hey, this is how you do this is how you do that, right? So it's not too difficult to get your feet wet, to just jump in the waters a bit. Let me share another one here that I think is really cool. This is Skyrim.
Oh, that's right. Yep. No. Go ahead. I was gonna mention something from Kirby Lewis, but go ahead and finish with Skyrim.
Oh no, yeah. I was just gonna say that this what you're looking at here right now. This is Skyrim, the vanilla Skyrim, and what it happens when it's modded. Like literally, this is these are my favorite videos that I like to show off. Like you see a vanilla version of a video, you see the vanilla version of the game. You say, okay, this is the game, and then they swipe and they show you what it looks like after it's been modded, and it's just jaw dropping. Obviously, the some of these things require higher overhead. You need to have more RAM. You need to have a better GPU. You need to have more powerful CPU. But a lot of these games, that's why a lot can be done with older games, because a lot of those games were spec'd for much lower performant machines. And obviously, we're now in a much a time where much more performant machines are commonplace. So you can find that doing this is pretty easy, and you can really like breathe life into your game. So as I was saying, here's everything that they did, right? Step by step, all the manuals, all the stuff. You want your pine forest to look all pine foresty? Here's the link for that. You want volcanoes to look extra volcano-y, and what all of this will lead you to is the tip of the week as far as mods. More often than not, when you're looking on a YouTube page, which is where I recommend you go for mods, when you click on it, it'll lead you to one place and one place alone, and that tends to be Nexus mod. Basically, there are many mods everywhere, modding communities all over the place. This is not a unique to this place, but these guys are a great aggregator. They've been for many years. They used to even have an app. Actually, I'm not sure if they still have that app. Haven't used it in quite some time, where you could basically have an application running on your machine. It scans your machine, shows you all the potential mods you can potentially make use of based on what apps or what games are installed, things like that. But even without that,
awesome.
Without that, you can come here. They show you the description of what it is. They give you videos, give you images, bug fixes, instructions on how to do it. Like just type in a game, type in Halo.
Yeah,
you will get a million mods for Halo, because there's a million mods for everything.
And shout out to Kirby Lewis. He's correct. Game Banana is another one. Game Banana.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Google that, and it's like a a hub for all sorts of mods and stuff. I think I've gotten. I think when I started messing around with emulation, I got a lot of GameCube mods from Game Banana, and believe it or not, okay, I was actually playing Metroid. Okay, the GameCube first Metroid with the up-res graphics and all that, even before Nintendo came out and said, hey, by the way, now that's available in the eShop. Okay, I was already like, okay, I've already seen this. You know what I'm saying? So I was kind of in the future already with that.
Ladies and gentlemen, Game Banana. There you go.
Game Banana as well. Shout out to Nixie. Is that the tribal chief in AEW? How is that possible? Mods, man. It's a community. You know, and also in WWE 2K, all the 2Ks that have come out, 2K23. I'll give you an example, okay? There was, for the longest time, the community, the 2K community of WWE was complaining because I guess you could say that, you know, the developers didn't really understand that Roman Reigns was the champion at the time with 2 titles. So he was coming out every week with 2 belts, right? Like, you know, both championships on his shoulder. And the community's like, how come this game doesn't give you that option? Guess what? They Thanos'd it. They put on that Infinity Gauntlet and they said, I'll do it myself. And lo and behold, within weeks, you had mods out there with the tribal chief, you know, with both titles, man. I'll put it to you like this. They're so good that as soon as there's an event that takes place on a monthly basis, right? Because remember that wrestling, they do monthly events, like big events, right? Whatever clothes the wrestlers are wearing, you know, whatever, hairstyles they have, whatever costumes they come out with, within days, that modding community is already uploading stuff, already making things, already making new arenas. Like, it's crazy, dude. It just brings so much life to these games. And of course, some games do have some tools that kind of help with that, but not to the level that PC does, where you're getting down to that code and you're actually changing things within the game. And that's the big difference right there. Okay, let me ask you. I don't know if you're going to remember this. And if you can't, that's okay. I'm kind of throwing a curveball at you. Can you remember what your first ever mod on PC was?
Oh, that is a very interesting question, sir. My very first mod on PC.
I know that's a curveball. You weren't ready for that.
No, that's difficult because I've been PC, like quote unquote PC gaming for like years.
That's okay.
I mean, it would have to be.
We can shift it.
You know what? I'll tell you what it is. So,
good.
And this is a deep cut, and most of you don't notice, so forgive me. I just have to do it. There was this game. Oh my God, I forget the name of the stupid game. It was on PC, Windows 3.11, where you'd have to walk around finding keys to get out of gauntlets. It was one room after another. It was a 2D game.
Windows keys. Is that the FTC game? The
Otto's
FTC
Adventure.
game
I think Windows... it was Otto. Was it Otto's Adventure or something like that? Otto's Adventure. Let me look.
No idea.
Let's see. Otto's Adventure. I think something like that. With where you have like the little keys and you have to go find it. And literally, like, you go into this room and it's monsters. You go to that room and you find the key. And it's an old ass game, right? But when this is like in the early 90s, somebody the voodoo cards came out, right, which were FX cards that would then add extra effects onto existing games. Someone took that game, right, and then basically modded a whole skin on top of that game.
Wow.
So turned it into a 3D monster like crazy game, like, and it was built in. This is a game that was built into Windows. Like, anybody can remember this stuff. That, I think that was the very first thing that blew my mind, that I saw somebody playing that, and I was just like, yo, this is just like the craziest thing. I didn't even think this was humanly possible. This is just nuts, possible? You know? Yes. That was the first time. I think that there was that. I've seen people modding, like, you know, Transformers into like fighting games and things like that. Chips Challenge. Thank you, Mr. Lucius Augustus. Chips Challenge.
That's a deep cut right there.
Thank you, sir. Chips Challenge. That's what I'm talking about. Yes,
that's awesome.
Chips Challenge, and it was awesome. It came on PCs, just absolutely ridiculous. Don't even look it up because that's too old for you. It's all right. Go ahead.
That's awesome. My first mod, right, when I started messing around with PC stuff, Batman Arkham Origins. You remember that game?
Okay, yeah. Love that game.
Me too. Okay, so and
underrated
I think it's underrated, and it's not as good as Rocksteady's offerings, but it still can be up there. Okay.
Yeah.
I remember that on PlayStation 3, they had the exclusive what Nightfall. That's the I'm looking at my shelf. What's the name of that Batman Nightfall, which is where Bane breaks Batman's back.
Batman's back. I remember that.
And then Azrael takes over Batman, and he's wearing.
I remember that run. I remember the cover of that comic book. I remember it. Yeah.
Okay. PlayStation for the longest time had the Azrael robotic cyber, whatever you want to call it, exclusive skin, okay, tied to the PlayStation, okay, and that's the only place that you can play that. When I found out about modding and stuff like that, I started looking into it. I'm like, wait a minute, are you telling me you can get this on PC? How do I do this? Dude, I was able to figure it out. I was able to play, most of the game with that suit, and I was in heaven. I was like, I can't believe this. This is amazing, because I never had the game on PlayStation. I've never bought third party on PlayStation except, a handful of times, but I was just amazed. I was like, oh my God, I'm in heaven right now. I was calling over the wife, babe, you got to see this. This skin is from, this skin is my favorite Batman skin of all time. And I can't believe I'm doing this on PC, and I can't do this on my Xbox. I can't do this on my PlayStation. Like, what's going on right now? And that's when I found a newfound appreciation for the modding community. And it's like, wow, man, like I knew that this stuff was always there, but I didn't really, I didn't understand it. I didn't really appreciate it, I guess is the better word to use. And with some of the mods and some of the things I've seen lately, Kay, man, I appreciate these modding communities so much, because what they're doing, I mean, honestly, in my opinion, and this might be a little controversial, some of these dudes and girls out there are doing better work than the actual developers, in my opinion. Okay.
Well, actually, it's interesting you say that, sir, because a lot of them start out as modders and turn into developers, like proper. If you recall, maybe you don't. Arma turned into what is it? What the heck is the name? Basically the game that brought about the battle royale as we know it right now. What was that battle royale du jour before? PUBG itself is an Arma mod. Right? Arma is the game. PUBG was the mod. PUBG became the mod for it, and eventually offshot and turned itself into a proper game, and that's where we are. And there've been, and DayZ, of course, I see you in there, Kirby Louise. DayZ also being a derivative of it. You know, they eat each other's, like snakes eating each other's tail all over the place when it comes to stuff like that. So for a while there, it was known that one of the avenues of entry would be through the modding community, which is really cool. And it's actually very big in VR right now too, as well. Huge modding communities start off taking like flat games and, you know, turning it into VR games and all of that. So yeah, absolutely awesome. So, you know, and I, for one, I'm super, super excited for more mods, especially with you know, stuff like Starfield and things, you know.
Absolutely. Now, when Xbox, you know, if they don't use common sense, right, and they don't have a Mandalorian skin within the first 6 months of that game, I'll Thanos it. And I know someone in the community will figure that out. So,
of course they will. Yeah.
You know, it's just sometimes it's too easy for these companies to hit that home run and they don't see it. So the community says, okay, we'll do it ourselves.
To be fair, sometimes they can want it all they want, right? But if you don't have that deal with that contract with that company, you're just not going to get it done, right? They're not going to allow you to put it on there. They're not going to let you do it. You know, that's why in those instances, they'll just be like, okay, we'll just be quiet and just let you put these mods here. You know, we're not going to be angry about it to satisfy the crowd, although we know we don't have a deal to actually do it. So, you know, as we talk, here's some other weird mods. Spider-Man
like Woody.
Mods.
He's Spider-Man all of a sudden.
You know, there's you know, there's just a lot of and shout out to these folks. There's a lot of people online that do great work showing off a lot of these mods on here. So
crazy.
Yes. Yeah, you know, and all of these you can do yourself. You can literally go in there, and of course, like it's a crazy channel with lots of crazy stuff. So they do interesting things. Anyway, you can do lots of cool stuff, you know, with mods out there. So, and it's not just the idea that, you're done and you want to put Woody on there and that's why you do it. You can even like go in and correct certain games that need correcting because hey, it may not be able to do this right or may not be able to do that right, because of that, we're using mods to supplement it. You know, so
let me tell you two other mods that just blew my mind away.
Okay.
First one being I haven't looked into it, but I will because I just want to experience it one time. Master Chief versus Kratos. Have you seen that mod of the Boulder and Kratos fight? Have you seen that? Look that up.
Master Chief versus Kratos. That is why has that not been something I have not seen in my life? Because
it's iconic. You know, it's two the two behemoths of Xbox and PlayStation going head to head.
Okay, let's go. Let's see.
It's right here. Right, and dude, again. Don't get me wrong. It's silly. You know, and it's a little kooky and wacky. But man, it's like the community made it happen. You know, we know these companies will probably never do this, so the community made it happen, and they said, "Let's put Master Chief just to give it that taste."
The one place that it probably officially can happen is Fortnite.
Yeah, that's true.
That's the only place this could ever actually officially happen. But no, like the capability of the community knows no bounds, bro. Like I love this
crazy,
stuff,
dude.
You know? I love this stuff. Yeah.
And let me tell you one more that I did that I really recommend for anyone that's been craving a Punisher game. Punisher is one of my favorite characters of all time. Okay. Watch Dogs 1, they have mods to turn the main character, Aiden, or I think that was his name, into the Punisher. And you're driving around with the van. And if you think about it, that game's story, it kind of makes you feel
the Punisher.
Like a vigilante. Yeah. So
yes, you're right. You're absolutely right.
It fits so good, man, that I was like, honestly, like that game made me believe that Ubisoft can do a good Punisher game. You know what I'm saying? Like if given the opportunity. So
look at Master Chief just like wailing into
like a Kratos just bending that arm.
This is your Watch Dogs mod here.
Yes, this is it right here. So So I played the whole game as Frank Castle, the Punisher.
Yeah.
Dude, I was like, in my mind, it was a Punisher game to me. I was like, I'm playing a Punisher game right now.
That's cool, bro. This is really cool. This is really awesome.
It really, dude, it completely changed the game for me. So I was very excited about that. And another reason why I fell, deeper into that PCMR rabbit hole. So let's see what we got in the chat. We have Kerber Louise. Oh, by the way, Kerber Louise, we haven't forgotten about you. We want to bring you on, but we just wanted to give you some time to get that invite and to be able to set your schedule. So don't be surprised if we can invite him on the next show and he can make it.
Yeah, sure.
More than
welcome.
More than welcome, Kerber Louise.
Yeah.
And we have Silent Cypher saying good evening. How you doing, sir? And so let's move on. So Kay, you were saying that for everyone to find these mods, there's
Nexus mod, like you were saying, there's
Banana.
Game Banana. I haven't used Game Banana as much as Nexus mod. I will definitely be using this more because it looks like they are also focused in emulation games more, whereas Nexus mod tends to be more focused on PC, Steam, adding code into the background of Steam games and or what do you call them? GOG games, things like that. So here's where you get a lot of your Skyrim upgrades, a lot of your Witcher 3, stuff like that. There's a huge community here. Oh, here's a thing. Fallout London was a big mod. I don't know if you guys have actually heard about that. Fallout London itself is a mod based on the Fallout franchise, and they're actually in Fallout 4, and they're actually making the full game now, using that engine, and they've been giving their blessing from Bethesda. So you will eventually get Fallout London come out, which itself will be the combination of a bunch of mods. Really, really cool and interesting stuff.
That's awesome.
So
I recommend one, Violent Doom. Okay,
it's Violent Doom.
Violent Doom, I think it's the name of the mod, where it literally takes that classic Doom game that we all love. Okay, the grandfather of FPS shooters. Okay, if we really think about it, and they've refined some of the gameplay elements to kind of fit in with the new style Doom, where now you can do executions and stuff like that. I think it's called Violent Doom. It looks amazing.
You mean Brutal Doom?
Brutal Doom. Sorry, not Violent Doom. Brutal
Doom. There you go.
Yeah, I thought I got confused.
Hey, it makes the point. Brutal Doom. There you go. Like this.
It's dude, just little things like that, man. I mean, like.
Oh my God! What are we doing here?
Yeah, bro. It's just come on, man. If this doesn't get your blood boiling, I don't know what will. Okay. Yeah. but seriously, there's so many mods out there, guys. Leave us messages below. Once you watch this, and let us know of any that we should check out and
some cool, interesting ones we should be looking into. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, there was a super chat we missed. I think we missed.
Go ahead.
Mr. Joanna Dart with a $5 super chat.
Come on, man.
It says, John Wolf, there is no mod known to mankind that will help you make Sonic better and beat Chunky Elephant Mario. Cannot wait for your knees in October.
Have you ever played the patch version of Sonic 06? That horrible Sonic game?
You know of a horrible Sonic game? Really? You do? Oh my God!
Well, it's it's out there. That's what people say. I don't know what they're talking about.
That's what people say.
the patch version of that game is actually pretty good. It's playable. Okay, it gives you. It's playable. I'll just leave it at that. It's playable. Okay. So
is that all you can say? It's playable. That's it.
It's playable.
That's not the best endorsement you can give it.
It's playable. Let's just leave it there. So okay.
Check this out. We're talking about mods. Here's Hypersonic. Yeah. They put Hypersonic in a game. Here's Sonic 3 Hunter. They have different they put really weird things in where you have a game where Sonic is literally hunting you. In the whole game, kind of like Celeste.
Oh, and I know that there's a community out there that have made their own 2D Sonic games, full, levels and stuff like that. So that's another thing that I'm surprised Everborn hasn't fallen down that hole. You know what I'm saying? But
here's the Sonic Unleashed project.
Look at this. This is
awesome. This is what you're talking about. This is the full 3D Sonic Unleashed project. Yeah, look at this.
Yeah,
some really cool stuff out there that have not necessarily come to fruition, but people are out there shooting their shot, doing the best they can, and doing some interesting things. It's cool, man.
Yeah, no, for sure. And NR Zik, you're wrong, sir. Yes, most 3D Sonics are not good, but they have a certain charm to them. They each have a unique gameplay element. Okay, I'll give it that.
We will not slander Mr. John Wolf until the numbers come in. Save your ridicule till he has no choice. Until his knees are mine.
I have no.
And Kirby Zero Louise with a $5 super chat saying, "I know it's a PC show, but if we are talking about mods, and the world of Brutal comes up, I have to mention Brutal Mario. Amazing hack.
I've never seen that.
You've never seen Brutal Mario?
Never seen that before.
I mean, you could make a case that Brutal Mario can be talked about in the PC space because you can emulate Brutal Mario, right? I thought you could. Let me find Brutal Mario here.
Yeah, I want to take a look at that.
There are some games here, like there are some hacks that have been put together that are like super interesting that people just forget that is part of our community. And because gaming, PC gaming is fun. PC gaming is fun, and console gaming is fun. It's this experimental stuff gets kind of lost in the sauce, and I think they need to have a bit more in the more time in the spotlight.
The problem is that I gotta bring this up every show. The console gaming, when you don't got the mods and stuff, it's become missionary gaming in some aspect. You know what I'm saying?
Until and as you can see, check this out. Every level is unique and changed. It's really cool. Look, check this out. They've really spent their time building this. This is Mario Maker before Mario Maker. You know what I mean?
Nice.
They
I gotcha.
They took their time and made a full. I think Mario Maker kind of ruined this for folks like this because there were people out there who were really doing stuff like this, right?
Yeah.
And now, of course, Mario Maker makes it much easier. But yes.
Yeah, the company Nintendo did what companies usually do, which is they see what the community is doing, what they're into, and then they copy it. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So yeah. Okay, we're coming up on the end of the show today, man. It's been already an hour. The hour flew by, man. But yeah, thank you everyone that turned out. Thank you so much for contributing to the chat and to our community. Another week of John Wolf hosting the show. I hope I was able to hold down the reins. Kay, thank you again for trusting me to be on part of your network and your show.
You're natural as usual. You're a natural, not a problem. Go ahead, man.
Thank you, sir. And yeah, so Kay, again, remind everybody kind of what your schedule is looking like for the next week, because we're gonna be out a couple of podcasts here. You want to remind the good folks?
Yeah. So I will be out this week, so you will not see me on GCP on Wednesday, and we will unfortunately not have GCP on Wednesday. You will not catch me on Boom on Wednesday, and GCP will not be on this Saturday. And I mean, if we can squeeze it, if it's possible, I might see if we can throw down next Monday. But I can't promise because you don't know how. I kind of selfishly, I kind of don't want you to, because I know what it's like to come back from a big trip. And dude, it's hectic. Sir. So we'll meet again on the following week when you're rested and because I know what that's like. I went to South Korea and I appreciate it, sir.
On my day back, it was brutal, dude. It took me like a week to recover. I'm not gonna lie to you.
The plus side of the house is by the time I come back, I mean, I'm still in the States. I'm not like going overseas. That was last year. I'll still be around. I'll still be on Twitter. I'll still be on Threads. Oh God. And a few other places,
Did you
so
jump
if anything goes down,
you jumped on Threads? I haven't jumped on it.
I have a Threads account reluctantly. Believe it or not, I think Blue Sky should win, but of course, Blue Sky is being foolish by keeping themselves under lock and only invitation only. And it's stupid. Like, if you want to win, you have to be everywhere. And right now, Blue Sky is losing because not everybody can join, even though they have a better, in my humble opinion, better application, better features. But yes, it is what it is. For those who don't know, Blue Sky is made by the people who made Twitter, the original Twitter makers. So it looks exactly like Twitter, kind of.
So for your trip, I know that you got the two games that we mentioned on the Backlog Brothers segment. What are you looking What are you looking to play on the Steam Deck or your AO1K Zoe?
So I will most likely be bringing the deck with me because the Zoe is what I play my my AAA games on. Right? It's not it has a better battery. It's longer thing, but I play certain things in certain places. So whenever I go on trips like this, I like to make it indie fair, and so because of that, I'm bringing my deck with me, and I'm looking forward to finishing up Fist. I've been playing Fist for a little while. It came on Xbox. I was playing that through Game Pass. Love that game. It's really cool. Like it is a Metroidvania in the best sense of the word. That just when you feel like, oh, I'm getting used to these powers, they throw something cool and new at you. It's constant like cool stuff there. So I'll be finishing that. I want to wait and come back before I finish Jedi Survivor. I want to play that on the PC on the big screen on the big monster rig. So I'll wait and play that. But yeah, I want to jump in and grab as many indie unusual things as I possibly can get my hands on. I love those kind of unusual things. We're still in the Steam Summer Sale period, so at this time, before I head out, chances are I may decide to double dip in there and grab a couple indies and take it with me on the trip. And finally, this will also be kind of a housekeeping note for the people. While we're talking about this, we have been lucky and beneficial enough that we're starting to get folks that recommend that we get maybe some indie games or some bigger fair games that they want us to review or preview before they are released. So we're potentially getting our hands on some new codes on some different games that are coming out here and there. So maybe you'll start seeing us play more of that on the show as well. Communicate with folks, let folks know what games are cool, what games might be out that you want to pay attention to. So I'll be playing a few things like that as well, and showcasing those off here on the show. So hopefully when we come back, we'll be hot and heavy. Lot more show for you guys, a lot more segments. Do some different interesting things that we feel we have in the mix. We love when all the folks join us and have this PC talk we always enjoy. So it's great.
For sure. It's been a great hour. Kay, safe travels to you and the family. I hope you guys have a great time. And we'll be back. We'll be back stronger than ever. And thank you so much for everyone tuning in. Let's see when that Xbox news comes out. Is this acquisition happening or not? Judge Corley has a call, So kind of waiting here. So peace out to everybody, guys. Until next time, stay safe, guys. And wherever you play, guys, just have a great time. And just don't do none of that missionary gamer stuff where you only stick to one thing. You know what I'm saying? Just mix it up a little bit, all right, guys?
I will really need to see some visuals from you with that one at some point.
We're working.
Have a good week, everybody.